back home.
Charles Grant, I understand that you have beef and swine projects for FFA High School. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
And this is one of your Angus heifers, isn't it?
Yes, this is one of my yearling heifers here.
Pretty good little heifer. You started out about 4 years ago, didn't you?
Yes, we started out about 4 years ago with a couple of cows.
Now you have about 20 head out there, isn't that right?
About 20 head.
Charles, just what would it cost you if you wanted to get a heifer like this?
Well, it would ruin a $500 bill pretty well.
You have a Hereford steer, don't you?
Yes.
Why don't you bring it out here now?
Okay.
This is a range steer, isn't it, Charles?
Yes.
One you got bought from your uncle he got from the West.
Yes, I picked him out of about 50 head.
Well, it looks like you make a pretty good steer, Charles.
Well, I hope he will.
Yes, I'm sure he will. See, John, you have, was it 8 purebred Duroc gilts and 1 blower for your project?
Yes, I have.
And 4 of these gilts have already farrowed, is that right?
Yes.
How many pig?
27.
27, well, that's pretty good. One of them had about 10 or 11, didn't it? That's the one we entered in the ton litter contest?
Yes, she had 14, but 3 were laid on.
Well, you're doing a good job here, and you have them out on clean ground here, and they've got a good start. I think you're really going to produce some pork. Maybe that meat shortage will let up a little.
Hope so.
Yeah, I guess that's good enough then. Len, this is a steer you bought over at San Jose, is that right?
Yeah.
He's a purebred bull calf he was, since he had a line down the back. Couldn't keep him, so castrate him, feed him out for steer. He's a very, very fine steer. I think he'll take you places.
Yeah.
Well, now, you have some Angus, don't you? How many Angus do you have in your herd?
Well, about 13 head.
Well, I think we'll cut now and we'll get some of those Angus and look at some of them then. Now, this is one of your Angus heifers. Is this one of your better heifers, Len?
Yeah.
How many do you say you have in your herd?
About 13.
About 4 years ago you had, what was it, one?
One heifer.
Well, that's really building up. What would you say this heifer's worth?
But I offered $500 for it to show last summer.
Well, you couldn't hardly afford to sell it for that, could you?
No, I couldn't.
Well, you have a real start for a real herd here, and the idea, I suppose, is when you get out of school, you want to go right on.
Yeah.
Well, that's a pretty good setup. You got some Duroc hogs, too, don't you? Some
Yeah.
purebred Durocs. I think we ought to take a look at them.
All right.
Well, I got this heifer up at Congerville, Illinois, sale last September.
At the state sale that they have there?
Yes.
What do you aim to do with this heifer?
Well, I aim to breed her, start on a Angus herd.
You aim then in a few years to have a pretty good sized herd going, is that it?
Yes, I think so.
Well, that's a fine incentive and something to shoot for, and I think that if you stay with it, that's just what you'll have. You like the Angus breed, do you?
Yes, I like it. Good.
Bring her up here just any old place. This Angus calf you have here, Jack, is a heifer. You bought the heifer with their mother from Charles McGuire, isn't that right?
Yes.
And you want to get an Angus herd started.
Well, I'm aiming on.
You like the Angus breed?
Well, I don't know. Follow the other boys and other schools and start to get herds of Angus.
You think if they like them, there must be a reason for it. Is that it?
Yes.
You have the mother's out in the pasture and she's bred again. That means it won't be long. You're going to have quite a few head.
Yes, that's right.
Well, I think that ought to. You have a Hampshire gilt too, don't you?
Yes.
Could we take a look at her?
Well,
Boys, how many sows do you have here, W.A.?
4, Mr. Nicol. 2 of them are my sister's and 2 of them are mine.
You like Chester Whites, do you?
Yes, I've had them for several years now, and I found out they're a very good hog.
You usually raise pretty good hogs, W.H. What's the main factor in raising good hogs? What do you think is the main factor?
Well, keep the place clean and watch the breeding and things, and keep the pens really well cleaned out.
Well, that sounds like pretty good advice. Do you expect to enlarge your herd, do you now?
Well, my father let me. He asked quite a few. I have a time not having too many.
Yeah, that's right. Sometimes that happens. The boy overruns his dad. Is there anything else you'd like to have for a project besides? Bernard, this is an Angus heifer that you bought, decided to start an Angus herd, is that right?
That's right.
Where did you get her?
Over at Stogert's.
Well, you have a fine heifer there, and I hope that you get as good a herd as your dad and sister used to have a number of years ago.
I hope so too.
I think you will. She's a mighty nice one. That's good enough.
Pretty nice heifer you have here, Bernard.
Yeah, she's smooth in the back and the loin. I've short-legged. I like her pretty nice.
She'll make you a good brood cow.
Well, I hope so.
So do I, boys.
Oh, she'll weigh around 7.5.
She weighs about 675.
Well, you didn't miss it far. 100 pounds isn't far on a beef. A little high on a chicken. Bob, this is one of your Angus heifers. How many head of Angus do you have now?
I got 6 now.
Got 6 now. You just got started last year, is that right? Bought a couple of cows. This is a heifer that you bought from one of the other FFA boys. Who'd you get it from?
I got this heifer from Len Shaw.
Len says you stole her and you say you bought it. Well,
I think he stole it.
I think you stole it. You have some Berkshire hogs too, don't you, Bob?
Yes, I got this one sow.
You got one sow, and you're going to have a litter of Berkshires too. See, you're a senior, and you made an application for FF State Farmer the other day, didn't you?
That's right.
Okay, well, we'll wait and see how that goes through. I think it ought to go through.
Hope so.
Yeah. Get some sound effects. Dean, here's a Berkshire sow and litter. It's your project. You're president of the FFA, and you have these pigs entered in the ton litter contest, don't you?
Yeah.
What do you mean, ton litter contest?
Well, I was supposed to get a ton in 180 days.
The 10 pigs that you have here should weigh 100, that is, they should weigh a ton, 2,000 pounds in 180 days.
Yeah.
Well, they have a good start. Now, this sow didn't give any milk at first, did she?
No, she got offered feed, and I had to put them on their own pet milks.
They're bottle babies then,
Yeah.
right? Well, they've got the start now, and I think they'll make it.
Pretty good shape.
Yeah. You like Berkshires, do you, Dean?
Yeah, they look pretty good. I get used to them now. They're pretty stocky, and they're awful low. They look a lot better than the other hogs.
Anything else you like about a Berk?
Well, they get a lot of gain. They get a good finish on them, too.
I think one year at the International in Chicago, he won about 16 out of 19 prizes.
Yeah, they making pretty good. They haven't been doing so good lately down there, but I think I'll try to make them do pretty good this year.
Well, that's the spirit. Last year, and you want to really make it
Yeah.